Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back in Swiss, Shadows Over Innistrad. Okay, we opened Declaration in Stone, which is 5 tickets. I think we're going to take that. If this wasn't in the pack, it might still be the first pick. It's a decent removal spell. It's worse in Limited than it is in Constructed. It's still fine though. Like I said, it's a removal spell. It does, it's definitely a disadvantage that they get to basically draw a card, but I don't know, maybe you play against tokens and take them all out. Like, this would be a good out to the spells deck, right? The Rise from the Tides deck. Although, I'm hoping to build one of those in one of these draft videos. You can also catch that on my Twitch channel. It's the stream labeled Blue-Red Spells. Also, thank you to everybody that's been subbing to the Twitch channel. Keep that up. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to that. If you like the videos, I get a lot more views. It ups my visibility on YouTube, so any of that I really appreciate it. It helps a lot. I don't like to beg for stuff like that, but it does actually help a lot, so I would appreciate it if you wanted to help out. Okay, follow-up pick. We have Inspector, Unruly Mob, and Reaper in white, all of which are fine. We have Heir of Falconwrath and Geese's Bidding. Heir is one of the better vamps you can get. Really is. An Insolent Neonate. Heir is just basically a strictly better Insolent Neonate. I guess they're slightly different, but you get what I'm going for. I could just take the Heir of Falconwrath. I do think it's just the best card here. Just such a great, aggressive card. And nothing else comes really close. If I find a Rise from the Tides, I will try. I'm gonna go out of my way to force it, because I really do think it's that good. I'll take the Heir of Falconwrath here. It has to be relatively early, I guess. So I could take Twins. I guess it goes well with the Heir, but then again, so does Cynthia Masquerade. Yeah, I could just take Stensia here. It's early enough. I know you guys may be getting sick of vamps, but these are some of the better. Heir of Falconwrath, certainly one of the top 5 vamps in the format. Cynthia Masquerade, one of the best cards for that deck. So it's kind of tough to avoid when you're getting these, upper echelon cards of the deck. Like Spiteful Motives is a thing, which I haven't played with yet. I probably just want the Mentor, though, if you're going to do the Masquerade Heir of Falconwrath thing. Especially since Mentor is just fantastic with Heir of Falconwrath. Make it a 4/3 flyer on turn 4 and get a 4/2. Probably just take it. Seems a bit early, I guess, but otherwise otherwise it's like Spiteful Motives, which is a good card, but I don't need to take it here. I'll take the Mentor. Okay, so now we have Incorrigible Use, one of the better. Once again, we're just getting hooked up with all of these insane vampires. Like Heir of Falconwrath, turn 3, swing for 7. It's just insane. So we're going to take this guy. Alright, we're just getting hooked up with all the vamps, so I guess we have just an insane start for a vampire deck at the moment. Now we get the Insolent Neonate. There's another Spiteful Motives, but Neonate's like one of the best cards for this deck. I love Spiteful Motives, but I've quickly become like a huge Insolent Neonate fan. One of the best cards. Oddly, one of the better cards you can get for this deck. Even though it's a one-time use, it really is that good. We can take a Convicted Killer. It's not really what I want, but otherwise I'm taking like Merciless Resolve. I'm gonna take the Killer. Okay, Rush of Adrenaline, however, just fine for this. Pretty good for this deck, actually. So, off to a great vampire start. And like I said, I know I build it a lot, but when you're getting hooked up with some of the best cards for that deck, it's tough to refuse. Got a second Neonate back. That's just really good news for us. I'm going to take it over the Senseless Rage. Getting all these really powerful free Madness enablers is just really what this deck wants. Like, having an Incorrigible... Like, Twins are typically pretty easy to find. I almost want to say Twins are easier to find than Neonates for some reason. Probably just because Neonates are cheap. but maybe that's just the way it's been. So I could take Gibbering Fiend. What are the chances that we get Delirium? Currently we have an enchantment which is not going to go to the graveyard. We have an instant and creatures, so we really don't have much on the Delirium front. But Gibbering Fiend is still fine because it deals damage right when it comes in. And otherwise it's like Warped Landscape for a splash, which I don't think is happening. I'm not going to splash for Declaration in stone. I guess maybe take out a Clip Wings. I guess the only flyer we have is Air of Falconwrath though, so maybe we just take Expose Evil. Alright, Chasm. I mean, I guess most of our guys do not fly, so Magmatic Chasm is fine. We're going to let someone take the Chaplain's Blessing, actually. Even though we're aggressive, I don't care if they have that card in their deck. It doesn't really do much. Yeah, we're off to just a phenomenal start here. Archangel Avacyn, well, I mean, if this were a PTQ, I would take the Avacyn's Judgment, but since this isn't a PTQ, I'm going to take Archangel Avacyn because it's just one of the strongest cards in the format. I could actually just swap back into white now if I wanted, very easily. I might still continue to build the Vamp deck just because I've got such a good start for it, but Archangel Avacyn is just such a phenomenally powerful card. This pack is absolutely insane. Can you imagine if you got this as a sealed pool? It's like, oh, just Archangel Avacyn and Avacyn's Judgment, no problem. Yeah, that is insane. Clear, million ticket card here. And then I kind of still want to build Vamps. I mean, I could probably, like I said, just swap back into white. What would I pair it with? White-red? Problem with white-red is I have all these cards that want me to be a vampire deck, I mean, I could just take a red card and I could take, like, Dauntless Cathar. I mean, Dauntless Cathar is a very good card. I mean, Archangel Avacyn is so good that I could just play it. I have 3 black cards. Granted, all 3 of them are really good, but I could seriously just take Dauntless Cathar here and just build towards Archangel Avacyn and not even think it's a thing. Like, this card really is just not fair good. Really one of those unfair mythics. And then I can bring back in the Declaration Stone. I might just swap into white. It's early enough. Archangel's insane. It's certainly better. Even though I have like a sweet little deck going here. I think I'd rather just take the Dauntless Cathar. I think Blood Mad Vamp and all that is very good and whatever. But we're just going to take powerful cards here. So I can take Spectral Shepherd now or Devilthorn Fox. I guess I'd rather have the flyer. Alright. Some good green cards in here. Taking the second Dauntless Cathar. Like I already said, this card's insane. I think LSV said it was the best white common, which might be right. Vessel of Ephemera, very good. We have a Pyrehound as well. I'm going to take the Vessel. I've been a huge supporter and fan of this card. People have told me that I take it too early. I disagree. I think it really is just a really powerful, awesome card. Doesn't matter that you have to pay 5 mana over a couple turns. It still really has just played very well for me. Been really impressed with the card. Wow. All right, let's just get out of black. We're full on white-red. White-red, might as well just call this deck Archangel Avacyn. I like Forge Master. We're going to take Fiery Temper, though. Okay, Arsonist is a nice card. No problems there. What do we have for Pyrehound? I guess we just have a Rush of Adrenaline and a Magmatic Chasm and a Fiery Timber. That's not enough. I'd probably just take the Arsonist. It's a fine card. Okay, we can take Tormenting Voice. We're going to have to find our Archangel Avacyn. I've actually come to appreciate Dual Shot. Even if you don't main deck it, it's a really nice sideboard card to have. The blue-red spells deck wants it the most. It's just a powerful card in there, but it's actually just a perfectly reasonable card. Like I said, I've been pretty impressed with it. You wouldn't think it would be that good since we just came out of... I played so much Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch, but I can't recall the 2-mana deal 1 damage to up to 2 creatures and they can't block. Yeah, Dual Shot just seems to be way better in this format than that card was. in that format. We should really put Incorrigible Youths at 5. I don't know why I put it at 3. I just assumed I'm going to cheat it out all the time. Styncia Masquerade still looks fine in this deck. If I don't end up with more cheap creatures, it might not be good enough, since we're off of the... people disagree with me on this. I've seen a couple commenters say you can just slam it in any deck you want, but that's just not true. You need to be an aggressive strategy. You don't have to be vampires, but you do have to be aggressive to really maximize Styncia Masquerade. You can't just hope to have a bunch of 4 and 5 drops and be like, okay, I'll just stick a Styncia Masquerade in it. You're not going to be successful. I don't really want a Howlpack Wolf since it can't block, but it's the only card in here even worth taking. Someone talked about Dissension in the Ranks. I don't think it's a very good card. It's just too specific where you have to have multiple blocking creatures and they have to be able to fight each other to kill each other for it to be good. It's oddly specific enough where it's just difficult to maximize. I guess I'll take a 3rd Neonate. It's kind of sad not needing the Neonates now. Alright, we'll take a Mage, I guess. I mean, we have enough Vamps now where I guess Masquerade could be like a little sub-theme we're doing. I'm going to cut the Vessels. Alright. Red Vessels for days. So, yeah, I mean, with all these Neonates, we could potentially make Masquerade better. They do all have Menace. A Neonate and a Masquerade is going to go a long way. It really does. You hit him a couple times, you got a 3/3 Menace, a First Strike Menace. That's better than you might think. Okay, Scourge Wolf. Apothecary Geist. What's our spirit count? We have Vessel, Shepherd. Cathars do produce spirits. We have a decent spirit count. Apothecary Geist is good for that. Scourge Wolf is a rare. We're not going to be able to get Delirium easy, but it does block as well. I like it more than Paranoid Perish Blade. I like Apothecary Geist because it's evasive and it buys time with the life gain. I think we have enough spirits to get it, and it fits our curve well. But I mean, Scourge Wolf is fine. It's not insane. I think it's just fine. I guess it lowers the curve. Like I said, we're not going to be able to get Delirium easily. We have Enchantment. We have Sorcery, which probably not even playing the Chasm. I think I want the Geist. I think we can end up with enough spirits where that's going to be pretty beneficial for us. So I would take Drifter over Fox. And it's a 2-drop. I'd probably just take Drifter. It's also another spirit for the Geist. It's our 23rd card as well. I think the first cut would probably be Magmatic Chasm. It's just something we're not going to need for this deck because we can push through damage with flyers and just value cards. Actually, Howlpack Wolf I want to boot too. Not what I want. I want stuff that can block. Because our late game plan is just so powerful at the moment. Geez, Pack Guardian. I probably want the Devilthorn Fox now. I don't need to go this deep on Insolent Neonates despite having Styncia Masquerade. So, alright. Cut the Wolf. Take the Fox. Fox is better defensively. It makes sense to me. Okay, well, there's Blood Mad Vamp. Oh, Duskwatch Recruiter? Jeez. Well, I can take the Blood Mad Vamp. Like, if I take the Blood Mad Vamp, I'm pretty much in on Styncia Masquerade. Yeah, alright, let's cut the Chasm, I think. Let's take the Blood Mad Vamp. Sinister Concoction might be the card worth hating here. We're not going to play a Militant Inquisitor. Alright, I'll hate a Concoction. It's one of the few cards that deals with Archangel. Well, I'd like to play Abyssinian Missionaries. I don't think it's going to happen since we have 0 pieces of equipment, but If I found a human one, I could do it. Malevolent Whispers works well with the Neonate. Yeah, it's true. Could play it. Missionary is another way for our opponents to deal with Avacyn, though. Something to keep in mind. We still could get lucky and find a piece of equipment. If I had one piece of equipment, I would still play it. It's a good enough hill giant where I'd be fine with that. All right, Mad Prophet is a good way to find our stuff. There's also a removal spell in here, though. What's our removal count? It's actually pretty low, isn't it? Declaration in Stone, Fiery Temper, and that's it. That's not much. Could take Geist Blast. I think Mad Prophet's just got to be better for the most part. We've got some madness to interact with it as well. Mad Prophet's one of the better cards for... I mean, we have enough madness to support it. It also is just a good card. On stalled board states especially. Indulgent Aristocrat is very good. We could have had a sick Vamp deck, but instead we have a ridiculous Archangel Avacyn, which I honestly think will just trump any Vamp deck probably. This card is just not fair. Emissary of the Sleepless. Let's get another Spirit. I've actually come to appreciate Emissary. I like it. I could actually take the Sanguinary Mage and go more for the Stensia Masquerade side deck. It really is powerful. I don't think Sanguinary Mage is very good outside of that, but I'm actually going to take the Emissary. Okay, Stone Quarry, it's like basically free, completely free for us. Fox number 2. I mean, Fox is still good with Masquerade, so okay. Vessel is a good Delirium enabler. I guess Scavenger blocks. So Vessel's just an enabler. Scavenger is actually the card the enabler wants to play. Maybe we do... The Scavenger blocks a lot of our stuff, too. Alright, Kessig Direswine is some decks want to finish with it. Alright, Stern Constable, sure. So we have to make a few cuts, which is a fine problem to have. We're going to stick with the Masquerade. I think our deck can definitely get some use out of that. We're probably going to sideboard the Dual Shot. We have a bajillion creatures. We're going to cut the Missionary. We just did not end up with the requisite equipment card to make that card good. Not a big deal, though. Look very aggressive. I like it. This is a cool looking deck. Very powerful. So we have 4 cuts to make. I'm going to play 17 lands because we have 4 or 5 drops to that. And we have a looter, so I'm a little bit less concerned about Mana Flood. I mean, we have a looter, we have a draw card effect, and we have 4 or 5 drops. So I think 17 lands is just straight up appropriate for this deck. Let's cut the Dual Shot. Let's cut the... Where did I want to... I'm thinking about cutting Convicted Killer. It's fine. It's probably just not what we need. Missionaries can go. So then we just need one more cut. And we've got ourselves a deck. So do I think I'm going to be able to turn on Gibbering Fiend? Probably. Neonate, remember, it lets you discard a card and it goes to the graveyard. So that's at least a creature and maybe a land or maybe something else. We have Instant. We do have Sorcery. Tormenting Voice is another way to get Delirium. Vessel is going to be a good way to get Delirium. But outside of that, we're mostly creatures. We have a couple instants. So it's going to be difficult, but I still probably am just... I've won the game off Gibbering Fiend before. I love that. It's such a great card to have on a stall board state. Feels like I should probably just cut a creature, but I'm not sure what. Maybe I don't need triple Neonate. I could get away with double Neonate. I mean, I get it with Stensia Masquerade and all, but... Maybe I cut the Sanguinary Mage. Maybe I would prefer the Looter effect over a 1/3 that has 6 cards in the entire deck that interact with it. All right, we're dumping the Sanguinary Mage. Once again, Sanguinary Mage, good value with Stensia Masquerade, but I actually think the Neonates have better value with Masquerade since they have to be double blocked. So people are less inclined to double block Neonate, and even if they do, then you just get to rummage and you've basically taken away 2 of their blockers. It seems much better for us. This deck is very powerful. I really like the way this deck looks. Our removal is a little bit subpar, I guess. But we have hard removal for anything. We have Fiery Temper. So, yeah, we're actually just straight up removal light. I still think we're fine. Just because our creatures are very good. And with Masquerade, with all these 3-power guys, is going to be really good too. And we have some evasion in here too, which I think will come up big for us, like Vessel's a creature that flies, Spectral flies, Cathar makes flyers, Drifter can potentially fly, Geist, Emissary, Archangel, so... And actually, triple Neonate with Incorrigible use is a big deal too. Yeah, this deck is good. Definitely good. I think Archangel Avacyn probably just puts it up. I don't want to say A, because we're removal light enough where that certainly could be an issue, but it's high B, just almost solely based on Archangel Avacyn. Like if this deck didn't have Archangel Avacyn, it would be a low B. I think like we get 6% higher, maybe even more with just Archangel Avacyn. So I'm going to give this deck like an 88%. I think that's not even being super generous. Yeah, I guess we can go 9-8. I'm okay with that. We want to be able to cast our Archangel Avacyn. Oh, wait, that's not... No. We're going to cut the Mountain, and we're going to run the Stone Quarry that we took. We got that awesome mana fixing, too. So, yes, awesome deck, 88%. Not even being super generous with that. Great curve. Obviously, great bombs that are worth $1 bajillion. And... the only weak aspect of this deck is a little bit removal light, which isn't even that big of a deal. So, awesome. This deck did not turn out the way I thought it was going to after, those vampire picks. We could have made a sick vampire deck, but like I said, I think I'm just much happier playing Archangel Avacyn. So, all right. We'll see you in round 1.